What's up, guys? Today we're going to diagnose a P0685 check engine light code for Acuras and Hondas. Let's jump straight into it. The most common way this code pops up is a blown main relay. So for a 2004 Acura TL, we're going to check these 3 relays to see if they have any power or not. All right, I got the relays right here, and there's 2 ways you can test it. And I'm going to show you guys both ways. So the first way is obviously a relay tester. So you just put it in here and test it. And that's the first method I'm going to use and see if they're good or not. But I'll show you guys the second way, which you can do at home with just a car battery and some cables. And that one's good. So I'll show you guys the second method on how to test these relays. The second method, you're going to hook up the positive cable from a multimeter to your battery, the positive post, negative to negative. I just had them wedged between these. And then you're going to attach these 2 points to these other 2 points on the relay, and you should hear clicking. So that one's good. That one's good. And that one's good. With the relays back in place, all checked out, we can go underneath the hood to diagnose the rest. Then next up, you're going to make sure that your battery posts are decently cleaned and strongly connected. As you can see, this one's a little rusty, but that's not going to cause the issue. Tightly connected, both of these. This one's brand new. Once you got that figured out, you're going to look at all your car's ground connections and make sure that they're secured in place and they're not corroded everywhere. So that one's good. The one leading down to the starter is all good. And in my case, this one's brand new on the passenger side engine mount, but this is actually my issue. If you look closely, obviously there's a missing bolt right there, and it causes that giant gap, which makes this not get a solid connection to the engine block. These threads down here are stripped out. So I'm going to show you guys how to remove this, how to tap and die it, and then hopefully get it back and working. First of all, you can see I already loosened it, but this right here is a 17 millimeter, and this can just come up and out of the way. It's just on that little clip right there, so you can just move this out of the way. All right, once you guys got that bolt removed, there's 2 more bolts. Well, in your case, it might be 3, but this one's a 14 millimeter, and this one that holds the ground connection is a 10 millimeter. So we're going to take those out and then lift this bracket up. You guys remove all of that. Make sure you have a jack underneath with a block of wood supporting by the oil pan. Don't jack up too high, just make sure it's resting on there so the engine does not fall down as you guys remove this. There's that 10 millimeter removed. We're just gonna move this off to the side. And there's that second bolt removed. And we can just lift this bracket up and out of there. And as you guys can see, these threads are completely demolished. Like, they are non-existent. We're either A, gonna leave this in here and tap new threads in, or B, we're gonna find a way to take this part out if it's possible, and then tap new threads that way. Alright guys, it's a couple days later, but this is the solution I came up with. So what I did is I drilled out the engine mount completely with this like $5 drill bit I found at Walmart. And I did that for both sides. And I put an extra long bolt and a nut at the end. And I put a bunch of Loctite and just nailed that bolt down. And now the engine mount is staying in place. You could remove this part, the threads, and replace it, but you're gonna have to pull off the pulley. Same thing with like a Healy coil, or you know, if you want to tap and die new threads, because it's gonna have to be perfectly straight. But when I drilled it, it wasn't perfectly straight, but it's holding. Now you can see the gap is completely flat. And I put a nut on each side, and I mean, it's been holding up. And that is how I fixed my P0685 code. So I mean, if you guys have the same issue with the engine mount, just either replace that part or do what I did. Yeah, thanks for watching.